In this series, I've argued that science and religion are and will continue to be at war, because each embrace a set of opposing values. In parts 1, 2, and 3, we looked at the scientific values of anti-authoritarianism, egalitarianism, and humility, respectively. This time, we're going to be looking at education. Education is pretty much the heart of the scientific endeavor, but it's not just about learning what we know, it's about learning what we don't know. That means being willing at any point to abandon what we thought we knew in light of what we learn. And that requires a kind of openness you simply can't find in religion. My former religion, Mormonism, is probably one of the better sects when it comes to education. Among Christian religions, Mormonism ranked number 2 in the number of adherents reporting at least one college degree in a 2014 Pew survey. Mormon scripture itself teaches that the glory of God is intelligence. And Joseph Smith, Mormonism's founder, said that no man is saved faster than he gets knowledge. And yet, as much as Mormons praise the idea of education, and they really do, there was always a caveat. In fact, on several occasions, I was told by my church leaders that I think too much, or I shouldn't be reading this or that publication. When I left the church back in 1993, there were 2 publications I read, Sunstone and Dialogue, a journal of Mormon Thought, which caused my religious leaders great concern, as these publications generally did not toe the party line. And that was simply unacceptable. Mormonism wanted me to be educated, but it wanted me to be educated in just the right way, in a way that wouldn't challenge or question any of the teachings that Mormon scriptures or the leadership held sacred. Oh, that cunning plan of the evil one, the Book of Mormon teaches. Oh, the vainness and the frailties and the foolishness of men. When they are learned, they think they are wise, and they hearken not unto the counsel of God. For they set it aside, supposing they know of themselves, wherefore their wisdom is foolishness, and it profiteth them not, and they shall perish. But to be learned is good, if they hearken unto the counsels of God. Think, learn, grow, but not too much. To the extent that the religious want you to be educated, they want that education constrained, and that's not really education, that's indoctrination. This is what we want you to learn, but only this, because if you learn anything more, you may end up not believing as we do. This, of course, is more of a problem in religions where not believing as we do means an eternity of torture, but the sentiment is found in one way or another in almost every religion. During the 2012 presidential primaries here in the States, one of the religious right candidates told his audience 62% of children who enter college with a faith conviction leave without it. This was his argument against higher education, never for a second imagining that such a statistic might be better suited to argue against religion instead. How strange it is to me now that something so fundamental to living a good life would be recommended or not based on whether the person afterwards changed her or his views. I would suggest that an education that doesn't change you isn't much of an education at all. But that does seem to be the point of much of religious education. It's not about broadening your horizons, but rather fencing yourself in. It doesn't enlarge your world, it confines it. You don't question the faith, you defend it come hell or high water, and in some cases you ask everyone around you, whether they believe as you do or not, to partake in this defense, this confinement. We see that when religious leaders try to keep evolution or sex education out of the classroom. For 1,000 years, Christians in the West weren't even allowed to read their own Bible or own one. And when the printing press finally made books available and affordable to almost everyone, people died for publishing or translating the Bible into the vernacular or simply owning a copy. Oxford professor John Wycliffe was posthumously condemned by the Archbishop of Canterbury. His bones were dug up, burned, and thrown into the river. William Tyndale, a name you may be familiar with from the publishing world, was burned at the stake for translating the Bible into English. Why? Well, there are many reasons, but I think most importantly, knowledge is power, and religious leaders have never been interested in sharing their power with the laity. For the authoritarian, undemocratic structure of religion to thrive, all knowledge must be filtered and viewed through the lens of the dogma. And the second that dogma is questioned, the entire house of cards collapses. That's how I found my way out. And that began because my education taught me how to think, while my religion taught me only what to think.